If you own a home in Florida, you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the homestead exemption. Those need to be filed by March 1st of each year of the year that you actually own the property as of January 1st. If you miss it this year, you'll have to wait another full year for the exemption. So you want to take notes on this. There are 5 things to remember whenever you're talking about your homestead exemption and applying by the deadline. First off, it needs to be your primary residence. So this is going to be your homestead. Normally, people just call it their primary home. Lender definitely wants to know if this is your primary home, if you're getting a loan, because you get a better rate and you're going to be moving in within a certain amount of days after closing. Exemptions. So if you're married, you're going to get a $50,000 exemption. So if both you and your spouse are on title, you want to make sure that you get that full exemption. There are ways that one spouse can receive an exemption on a property and another spouse can receive another. If that's very delicate and require affidavits, you want to be very careful about that. And talk to an attorney before you actually file application so you don't get caught up in owing more taxes later on. Timing. So if you own the property as of January 1st, you want to make sure that you file by the deadline of March 1st. You can miss the deadline, but you're not going to get that exemption for that year. You're going to have to wait until the next year. Also, if you own a home previously, you want to make sure that that primary resident and that exemption is ported over to the new primary resident. So they call that Homestead Portability. So if you have a $300,000 market value house that's assessed at $270,000 for tax purposes, that's $30,000 of Save Our Homes TAP that you want to make sure that you port over to your new primary resident. Extra exemption. You can also get extra exemptions depending on if you qualify. A widower who hasn't remarried is entitled to an additional exemption if you apply for it. The blind, also additional exemption that must be applied for. 100% disabled veteran, you can also apply for additional exemptions and provide the required documentation. You want to make sure that you review your trim notice every year when you receive it. You definitely want to make sure that you review it the year or two before you plan on selling your property. A trim notice will show the market value of your property as the tax assessor says its market value, and also the assessed value of the property. So this allows you to maybe talk to the property appraiser and the value adjustment board if you feel the market value is too low. If you think the market value of your property is higher, you can go ahead and speak to the value adjustment board to try to get that increase before you sell your property, because the max market value minus the assessed value gives you a larger portability homestay exemption.